Okay, problem 9. Yeah. Alright, you might think this is horrible because there's something on the x, but this one is between 0 and 1, so it's actually okay. I think. Maybe it's not. Anyway, so we're going to isolate the trig function. That means we're going to move the positive 3 over here, make it a negative 3, and then divide by the positive 3. And we got tangent of x over 2 equals negative 1. So that means when is tangent equal to negative 1? And that's going to be in the second and fourth quadrant. So x over 2, second and fourth, that's going to be 3 pi over 4. And 7 pi over 4. Then multiply by 2. Multiply by 2, I get 3 pi over 2. And 7 pi over 2. Is that too much? That's too much. 4 pi over 2 is 2 pi. So this one's out of range. So we have only one answer. It's 3 pi over 2. Answer. Number 9, that was only a minute, so we're going to put number 10. Okay. We got a mix here, secant and tan. This time it's not sine and cosine, but we still have, this trig identity. Sine squared x plus cosine squared x equals 1. I know last time I had it backwards. Remember, addition is commutative, so it doesn't matter. Okay. Now, how do I get something out of this? Well, I'm looking for, what? Tangent. So let's divide this by cosine. If I divide this by cosine squared that is, if I divide this by cosine squared, this turns into tangent squared. That turns into 1. 1 over cosine squared is secant squared. So as you can see, secant squared is same as tan squared x plus 1. Okay, so I'm going to replace secant squared with tan squared x plus 1. Okay, so now we just gotta move things around. So I'm gonna move the 4 over. So I got tangent squared x minus 2 tangent x, and 1 minus 4 is negative 3. So now it's a quadratic in tangent. And oh no, this is no. Tangent x. Factors of 3 are 3 and 1. We want to be negative, so the 3 is negative. Okay. What does this mean? This means we panic. Why do we panic? Because 3 is not a normal one, right? 3 is not on the unit circle that we memorized, so that means we have to resort to the calculator. Well, we can do tangent x equals negative 1 real quick. This all happens in the second. We did this already. Second and fourth quadrant, right? And there's nothing in front of x, so we're going to include both of them. And second quadrant was 3 pi over 4. And the fourth quadrant was 7 pi over 4. This one, I come back with the calculator, and I got inverse tan of 3 is 1.249. Inverse tan of 3 is 1.249. So x is approximately 1.249. And where is that? Let's see. Pi is 3.14. 1.249. Well, this should be in the first quadrant, right? It's pi over 2. Pi over 2 is 1.57. So that's the first quadrant answer. So that means there's a third quadrant answer. So we're going to add pi to that. And we're going to get, well, we'll just add 3.14. We're going to just use the 1.249. And we're going to add pi to that. So it's 3.1415, right? Okay. That gives us 4.391. Or something like that, 4.391. So we got all the answers from 0 to 2. Okay. That was ugly. Hopefully I'll edit that correctly. Okay. Moving on.